honest and tell me what comes to mind when you hear the word minimalism. Stark walls, empty closets, a life stripped of comfort. I want to clear up a misconception, and that is that minimalism is about deprivation, sacrifice, and living with nothing. So today we're going to compare minimalism to math. And if you don't like math, stick with me still. Because sure, in minimalism there is subtraction, but it also multiplies the opportunities that you have to enjoy the things that you love the most. Even if you don't like math, please stick with me for this short lesson that you're going to be very happy that you learned today. I promise it's going to be short and no calculators are needed, so I'm going to kick off my shoes and we're going to talk about it. Okay, let's talk about the common misconception about minimalism. When people hear minimalism, they often picture white rooms, empty closets, or people living out of backpacks maybe. And while some minimalists might choose that, it's not the heart of the lifestyle. Minimalism doesn't mean subtracting the things you love. It doesn't mean denying yourself of comfort or joy. That kind of thinking makes minimalism feel like punishment. In fact, that's why so many people even hesitate to try it. They picture a cold, empty life, when really it's about creating a home that actually feels warm and supportive. Minimalism is more about editing than erasing. It's not the absence of stuff, it's the presence of space. But real minimalism is about subtraction with purpose, removing the excess so you can add back the things that matter the most. Minimalism is about living intentionally. It's choosing to surround yourself only with what you use, need, and genuinely love. Think of it as subtraction that leads to addition. When you subtract the clutter, you add clarity to your life. When you subtract distractions, you add focus. When you subtract what weighs you down, you add freedom. And here's the secret. It's not just about stuff. Minimalism applies to your calendar, your commitments, even your digital life. How many times have you said yes to something out of obligation and later regretted it? That's another kind of clutter. By subtracting those shoulds, you could actually add room for the things that you want to do. Minimalism is simple math. Less junk equals more joy. When I first started decluttering, I was afraid of subtracting too much. I thought, what if I miss this later? But what surprised me was that I didn't feel deprived at all. In fact, I felt relieved. Removing clothes that I never wore didn't leave me empty. It brought ease to my mornings. There were fewer decisions to make and begin my day. And that's huge because decision fatigue is real. When you start your morning already feeling drained by choices, it trickles into the rest of your day. Minimalism quietly solves that problem. Removing lots of knickknacks from my shelves made it more peaceful and relaxing in my living room. Subtracting duplicates in our kitchen didn't make cooking harder. It added more efficiency. Only keeping a small selection of dishes visible makes mealtime a breeze. It felt like I was finally in control of my home, instead of my home controlling me. Each space felt lighter, and so did I. every subtraction created an addition of peace, clarity, and freedom. So instead of asking, what am I losing? Try asking, what am I gaining? When you subtract clutter, you add breathing room. Removing constant shopping from your weekends leads to more financial freedom. Subtracting activities from your overstuffed calendar means you're adding more room for much needed rest and creativity. And sometimes the gains are subtle but powerful. More patience with your family, more energy at the end of the day, more confidence when you walk into a space you love. That's the math that matters the most. That's the real math of minimalism. Less of what doesn't matter and more of what does. Here's your final quiz. What isn't minimalism about? Deprivation. It's about abundance. The kind of abundance you cannot buy in a store. So regardless if you're a math whiz or not, hopefully this lifestyle lesson has struck a chord with you. Minimalist math is simple. Everyday living minus distractions equals joy. Every distraction, a subtraction, allows for more of the things that you value the most. Spending more time with loved ones, traveling, reading, whatever that is that you wish you had more time for. Less clutter equals more clarity. Less stress, more peace. Less distraction, more life. That's the kind of math I like. I'm going to give you a gold star for sticking with me in my little classroom today. And I'm going to have to ask my mom, because she's a retired teacher, how'd I do today, Mom? I know I'm not a professional teacher, but I am passionate about simplifying. So if this message resonated with you at all, I'd love for you to tap that like button below and comment on how you think you can incorporate some of this minimalist math into your life. Of course, I would love it if you would subscribe and share this video with someone who you feel might need a little bit of encouragement at this point in their life. I want you to stay tuned for this next video that I have queued up for you right here. It's going to tell you how you can make room for more margin in your life. And that's going to keep that minimalist math working in your favor. So keep it simple, my friend, and take care, and I will see you in my next video.